There comes a moment in every man's life when he realizes something painful. Nobody is coming to save him. Not his friends, not society, not even his father. Because the truth is brutal. Your father did not prepare you for the real world. Not because he didn't love you, but because he was fighting his own battles, drowning in his own fears, carrying wounds he never showed you. So you grew up blind to the game. Nobody told you that the world respects force, not softness, discipline, not dreams, power, not innocence. Nobody warned you that kindness without strength turns you into prey, that people remember what you give them but forget you the moment they're done using you, that life is not fair, balanced, or moral. It is strategic. This video is not about healing. It is about transforming thought in the next 40 minutes. You will learn the rules men whisper behind closed doors. The rules that separate the predators from the pacified, the respected from the ignored, the men who rise from the men who kneel. Every man is trained from childhood to be useful, help others, be reliable, be the good son. And without realizing it, you grow into a man who carries everyone's weight except his own. But here is the truth your father never told you. The moment you become essential to others, you stop being important to yourself. People don't admire the man who solves every problem. They expect him to. They use him, drain him, and when he finally collapses, they step over his body and ask the next man for help. This is the tragedy of the dependable man. He becomes a silent servant disguised as a friend, a partner, a son, a brother. And the world never apologizes for it, because usefulness is not respect. Usefulness is utility, and utility is replaced the moment someone cheaper, faster, or more convenient appears. You were not raised to be powerful. You were raised to be available. You learned to answer every call, fix every mistake, calm every storm, show up for every crisis. You believed that being there for everyone would eventually earn you loyalty, gratitude, influence. But power doesn't come from serving everyone. Power comes from being the man who is not easily accessed. Look around your life. Notice how the people you chase never chase you. Notice how the ones you prioritize give you their leftovers. Notice how those you rescue never return the favor. Why? Because you trained them to believe your time is cheap. Humans don't respect abundance. They respect scarcity. And you made yourself endlessly available. Every time you rushed to help someone, you taught them, you don't need to give me anything. I'll still show up. Every time you said, don't worry about it, you taught them my effort has no price. Every time you forgave disrespect, you taught them my boundaries are soft. And when you try to assert yourself, they look confused because you're breaking a system you created. Understand this deeply. People treat you the way you have trained them to treat you. If you have become the man everyone uses, you have also become the man no one truly considers. Look at the most respected men in society. They are not the ones who are always available. They are the ones who are selectively available, and only to those who have earned it. Power is not in being needed. Power is in being rare. When your presence is scarce, your value rises. When your availability is limited, your respect increases. When your boundaries are firm, your influence grows. But you cannot make this shift by speaking. Words mean nothing to people who have already defined you. You must transform through behavior. Stop solving problems you didn't create. If someone makes a mistake, let them fix it. Responsibility teaches growth and protects your energy. Start saying no without explanation. A weak man apologizes for protecting his time. A strong man knows his time doesn't need justification. Become unpredictable in your availability. When people know you'll always pick up, they stop valuing the call. When they don't know when you'll respond, they adjust their tone. Show up for yourself first. Most men burn out because they carry everyone else's fire while their own flame flickers. Reward reciprocity, not dependency. If someone only appears when they need something, you're not in a relationship. You're in a transaction that the moment you stop being endlessly useful, something interesting happens. People who only valued your service disappear, but the ones who value you remain. This is the purification every man needs. And yes, it will feel uncomfortable because you have spent years being the dependable one, the helper, the fixer, the man who puts others first. But that version of you was designed for survival, not dominance. The world respects a man who is stable, but fears a man who is selective. Your goal is not to be needed by everyone. Your goal is to be respected by the right ones and untouchable to the wrong ones. When you stop being constantly available, you do not lose people. You lose parasites. What remains is your core and your power. And that is where the real transformation begins. Most men are controlled not by force, but by their own emotions. They explode when challenged, panic under pressure, break when abandoned, chase when rejected, and collapse the moment someone withdraws affection. This is why so many men lose in life. They are not defeated by others. They are defeated by their inability to remain cold. The world is not kind to emotional men. Emotional men negotiate badly. Emotional men choose comfort over discipline. Emotional men stay in weak relationships because they fear loneliness. Emotional men hold back their potential because someone might not approve. Emotional men get manipulated because their feelings are easy to trigger. Emotional men become predictable, and predictable men become puppets. Power belongs to the man, who can remain calm while everyone else is bleeding from the inside. Coldness is not cruelty. Coldness is clarity. It is the ability to see things as they are, not as you wish them to be. It is the discipline to make decisions based on strategy, not sympathy. It is the strength to stay steady when someone is trying to provoke you, guilt trip you, or emotionally corner you. A cold man does not react. He evaluates. He watches the situation, studies the intentions, and chooses the action that benefits him long term. He does not lash out. He does not beg. He does not explain himself. He does not let someone else pull him into emotional chaos. His detachment is his shield, and his silence is his sword. There are moments in life when kindness is a trap, when forgiveness is surrender, when empathy is used as leverage against you. People will exploit the softness you show them. They will weaponize your loyalty. They will use your fear of hurting others to push you into choices that destroy you. This is why necessary cruelty exists. Necessary cruelty is the ability to prioritize your well-being, your goals, and your future even when it disappoints, shocks, or angers others. It is not the desire to hurt people. It is the refusal to let people hurt you. Sometimes you must walk away without explaining. Sometimes you must end things without comforting the other person. Sometimes you must say no without softening your tone. Sometimes you must choose yourself so completely that people call you heartless. But a man without boundaries will always be betrayed. A man without self-respect will always be mistreated. A man who avoids conflict becomes a playground for those who enjoy creating it. Cold hands remind you that you are not here to be agreeable. You are here to advance. You are here to build a life that protects you, strengthens you, and elevates you. Emotional men sacrifice their vision for temporary approval. Cold men sacrifice approval for long-term power. When you stop operating from emotion, a new version of you emerges. You stop overreacting. You stop chasing. You stop arguing. You stop justifying. You stop expecting fairness from unfair people. You stop giving energy to people who drain you. You stop apologizing for protecting your peace. Your decisions become sharper. Your presence becomes heavier. Your time becomes more valuable. Your relationships become clearer. People stop playing with you because they can no longer read you or manipulate you. Your silence makes them nervous. Your indifference makes them careful. Your calmness makes them question themselves. This is what the world respects. Not a man who is nice, but a man who is not easily moved. Not a man who reacts, but a man who calculates. Not a man who tries to please, but a man who cannot be controlled. People may not always like you, but they will think twice before crossing you. They may gossip, but they will obey your boundaries. They may misunderstand you, but they will never underestimate you. And while emotional men burn out, you remain unshaken, unbothered, and unbreakable. Power requires cold hands, not frozen by fear, but steady with discipline. The man who can remain calm under pressure becomes the man who dictates the terms. And in a world that rewards dominance, not sensitivity, it is the cold-handed man who walks forward while everyone else trembles. Man's greatest weakness is the belief that he needs permission to live the life he wants. He waits for validation from friends, from family, from society, from a partner, from strangers on the internet. He wants applause before he begins, encouragement before he commits, and reassurance before he takes a single step. This is why most men never rise. They are addicted to approval. They move only when someone else nods. They shrink whenever someone disapproves. Their entire existence is shaped by the opinions of people who don't even respect themselves. Approval is a cage disguised as comfort. Every man who ever built something powerful, dangerous, or meaningful did it without asking for anyone's blessing. Because approval makes you weak. It forces you to compromise your truth just to be accepted. It turns your ambitions into a poll where everyone else gets to vote. And the moment your self-worth depends on what others think, you become their servant. Freedom is taken the moment you stop caring about the opinions of people who do not live your life or carry your consequences. True independence begins internally. When you stop looking outward for guidance and start looking inward for direction, life becomes infinitely sharper when you no longer need applause. Your decisions become strategic instead of emotional. You stop explaining your choices. You stop seeking sympathy. You stop trying to make others comfortable with your growth. You prioritize your mission over people's misunderstandings. The moment approval loses its value, your life becomes yours again. You build skills for yourself, not for applause. You pursue goals that scare you, not goals that impress others. You make decisions based on long-term gain, not short-term acceptance. You develop the courage to leave situations, relationships, careers, and environments that no longer align with your future. People will call you selfish. That is because your existence is no longer arranged around their comfort. People will call you arrogant. That is because you now choose yourself with conviction. People will call you cold. That is because they can no longer control you. A man who does not need approval becomes uncontrollable, unpredictable, uninfluenced, and therefore free. The day you stop asking for permission is the day you take ownership of your life. And once a man owns his life fully, he becomes unstoppable. A man's value is measured by the price of his access. The cheaper it is to reach you, talk to you, use you, or influence you, the faster people lose respect for you. Accessibility kills mystery, authority, and presence. The men who are respected are the ones who appear on their own terms. People value what they cannot easily obtain. When you allow unlimited access to your time, energy, and attention, you teach people that you are a convenience, not a priority. Emotional access is the most expensive currency a man has, yet most men give it away freely. Silence is one of the most powerful weapons a man can possess. The more you talk, the more people measure you. The more you explain, the more they doubt you. Silence creates pressure. Presence turns silence into dominance. Strength is built in solitude. Standing alone forces you to become your own foundation. When you can stand alone, no one can use your fear against you. Independence creates calm. Calm creates power. Reinvention begins when you stop negotiating with your weakness. The old version of you must die for the stronger one to rise. This transformation is not gentle. It requires destruction, separation, and discipline. And now you stand at the threshold. You know what you must do. Step into it. Reinvent yourself into a man the world cannot ignore, even if it tries. If this video lit something inside you, understand this. The fire you feel right now will not stay forever. Motivation is a spark. Power is a system. Weak men wait to feel ready. Strong men move while they feel nothing. Because the truth is, the world doesn't reward intensity. It rewards consistency. It rewards the man who shows up when the excitement is gone, when nobody is watching, when the results are still invisible. This is where most men fail. They hear a message like this, and they get high for one night. They swear they'll change. They swear they'll be different. Then morning comes. Life continues. Their phone vibrates. Someone needs something. Someone complains. Someone tempts them back into the old identity. And they fold. Not because they're incapable, but because they never built the structure to protect their evolution. So here is the next rule you were never taught. Your environment is either a weapon for you or a weapon against you. If you keep living inside the same routines that created your weakness, you will return to weakness. Not because you want to, but because familiarity is a drug. Your bed will seduce you. Your comfort will negotiate with you. Your friends will normalize the old you. Your family will expect the old you. Your past will call your name like a siren. And if you don't build a new system, you will obey it. A man becomes powerful when he stops trusting his feelings and starts trusting his standards. Standards are not promises. Standards are non-negotiable rules you enforce even when it costs you. This is the difference between men who talk and men who transform. Talk is cheap. Standards are expensive. They cost comfort. They cost relationships. They cost ego. But they buy you freedom. You want to know what real discipline looks like? Discipline is not waking up early one day. Discipline is removing the option to stay weak. Discipline is building a life where the easiest path is the strong path. It is deleting the habits that pull you back. It is starving the distractions that numb you. It is choosing pain today so you don't live in regret tomorrow. Every time you delay the hard task, you are voting for the weaker version of you. Every time you face it, you are voting for the man you're becoming. And listen closely. Your identity is not what you say you are. Your identity is what you repeatedly do. If you repeatedly tolerate disrespect, you are a man who accepts disrespect. If you repeatedly over-explain, you are a man who needs approval. If you repeatedly chase people who don't value you, you are a man who believes he is replaceable. Your behavior is your confession. And the world believes your behavior, not your words. This is why transformation must become visible. Not loud, not announced. Visible through action. You stop responding instantly. You stop apologizing for being busy. You stop rescuing adults from the consequences of their choices. You stop begging for clarity from people who benefit from keeping you confused. You stop trying to be understood by people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You become simple. You become firm. You become consistent. And consistency terrifies manipulators because it removes their leverage. There's another dark truth most men learn too late. Respect is not requested. Respect is enforced. Not with violence. Not with tantrums. With boundaries and consequences. Boundaries without consequences are just words. And words are toys. People play with them. A man who says, "Don't do that," but accepts it again and again as teaching others that his limits are imaginary. The world does not respond to imaginary limits. It responds to consequences. So you must build a reputation. Reputation is not what you tell people. Reputation is what people learn about you after testing you. And they will test you. They will push. They will take. They will see how much they can get away with. The first time you enforce a boundary, some will act shocked. They will call you dramatic. They will say you're overreacting. They will try to make your strength look like a problem. That is the oldest manipulation in history. Punish the person who finally stands up. Do not fall for it. Their discomfort is proof your boundary is working. When parasites feel the door closing, they scream. When weak people lose access, they accuse you of changing. Yes, you are changing. That is the point. You are no longer available for their convenience. And here is what happens next. Your circle will shift. The people who benefited from the old, you will fade. The people who respect power will come closer. Your life will become quieter. Your mind will become sharper. Your energy will stop leaking into meaningless fires. And for the first time, you will feel something most men never experience: internal authority. The ability to look at yourself and know you can trust your word. Because self-trust is the foundation of dominance. If you don't trust yourself, you will always be vulnerable to pressure. If you don't trust yourself, you will always negotiate with temptation. If you don't trust yourself, you will always fear the future. But when you become the kind of man who keeps his own standards, you stop fearing life. Life starts fearing you. Not because you're dangerous to others, but because you are no longer easy to break. You are either becoming stronger or becoming easier to replace. You are either building yourself into a man of value, or you are training the world to treat you like a tool. And tools are never respected. They are used, then discarded. So decide. Decide that you will no longer be the man who waits. Decide that you will no longer be the man who explains. Decide that you will no longer be the man who proves himself to people who don't deserve him. Become the man who moves quietly and lets outcomes speak. Become the man whose presence is earned. Become the man whose absence is felt. Become the man who is calm when others panic, silent when others beg, steady when others collapse. And if you're serious about this, don't just watch and leave. Take a single action today that makes the old you impossible to return to. Say no to something you used to tolerate. Remove one person's free access to you. Set one boundary and enforce it. Do one difficult thing you've been avoiding. Not tomorrow. Today. Because the man you want to become is built through immediate decisions, not future fantasies. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and step deeper into this journey. Because this is not motivation. This is a warning. The world is not getting softer. The competition is not slowing down. And nobody is coming to save you. So save yourself.